What is up, young nation? It's still morning for me anyway, not when this video is being put out. And what is up and good morning, you newcomers. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to everything me. My name is Brady Young and it's Wednesday, so you know what that means. I know I don't do this every week and I'm so sorry. I'm gonna try harder, okay? I'm gonna try harder. For today's how-to writing, shut up, phone. We're gonna be talking about the hook. Now, what exactly is a hook? If you remember anything from high school, English, or even college, if you're in college right now, the hook is something that you always have to do at the beginning of an essay. Those one to two sentences, all right? 1 to 2 that catch the readers, that makes them want to continue reading. It's that something interesting at the very start. It's a very crucial part. Not only is it crucial in essays, it is very crucial at the beginning of books. And of course my dog wants to try and get involved in this. Of course, I have jot notes like I've always had for the past previous videos. Why did I say past previous? Oh my gosh. Moving on from that. But not only can a hook be for a novel, 1 to 2 sentences, it can also be your first couple pages. Now, the most important thing about the hook, like we were taught back in school, in high school and in college, is it's very crucial. Why? Because it's that hook. It's the thing that makes you want to continue reading. It's to get people engaged. Let's go with one of the first things. Well, I've already said the first thing about what is a hook. Now, the most important thing about the hook, which is not only just the couple of sentences or the first couple pages, the most important thing about this hook is it can make or break your book or your short story. Why? Because it sets the tone almost for the rest of what is to come for your writing. It sets the tone of how you write. If you do not do a good job at grabbing people right at the beginning with those first couple sentences or those first couple pages, you're not going to keep people reading. You're not going to keep people entertained. You're not going to make them go, ooh, I want to know what happens. I want to know what the rest of this book is about. No, you're just going to lose them if it's not a good hook. Fortunately, I don't have any bad examples, well, unless you count mine, but one thing that's very important about the hook, one thing that you can do to make it very important and to make it very interesting is you can make the first couple of sentences or even the first couple pages as almost a question about... Alright, back to that. Where was I before I was so rudely interrupted by a phone call? Sorry about that, young nation and newcomers. But the first sentence, again, I've already stated this, make it like a question that gets answered throughout the book. You can also make the question kind of like, you can talk about the time. If you're doing like sci-fi fantasy, make the question almost about like where you are, who are these characters, what, like mention all these different things that can be answered throughout the book. Just like the plot of what is the plot throughout the book. Now, I'm going to give you some very interesting examples, i.e. from my own short stories and books. And bear with me because there's quite a few of them. So I'm going to start with the very first book that started it all. And again, I have stated this before that my books are based pretty much fictitiously on me and my friends. Oh, how I wish we had superpowers. But the first line is, the first couple lines, I'm not going to read the first pages, but what I've had stated for mine is that it draws people in. And I've also had stated that my writing, it pulls people in and they cannot stop. And that's something that you do want to try and capture in your writing. But the first couple lines I'm going to be reading from each of the stuff that I've been writing in the past, and even some of the short stories, and so on and so forth. But Kane, it's time to get up, Brady yells as he starts up the flight of stairs. Honestly, son, it's your first day of grade 11 and you're going to end up being late. Right off the bat, it's kind of those, who are these two characters being mentioned? So that's the first question right there is like, who are them? Who are they? I can't speak very well today. But right off the bat, you kind of get the questions of, who's Kane? Who is Brady? I want to know a bit more about them. And that's where a lot of those books kind of get you. And I've read quite a few books that mention just a few characters, and my mind goes on, I want to know more about this character. That's how my mind is anyway. Sorry, I'm messing up lots. Alright, and now for the second book. And what I do in my books is I always like to go and travel between the days and the months and pretty much just throughout the entire year, just having these different blocks of time. So I don't know if you would count this as a first line, but August 13th, Saturday, 12:18 a.m. Wind swept across the barren city streets, whistling through cracks in the building. Wow, I don't even remember how I wrote things anymore. The only light to guide them through the ghost city was the moonlight. Right there, it was kind of, well, what barren city streets, and then it was ghost city. And now, if you've read the first book, you kind of have all these different things about perceptions about the ghost city. Now it's kind of a wondering of, why are these characters going in the ghost city? What are they doing there? What's going on? And what's been happening almost in the past few months of the summer, because I always go from, I kind of almost do my books like a seasons of a show, I don't know why. We're moving on from that, on to the current book I'm writing, Curse of the First. August 11th, Friday, 11:30 a.m. A mighty hero has fallen, the Prime Minister of Canada says into the microphone. He stood on stage alongside dozens of fellow world leaders, speaking while I sat and listened. So without reading the other books, I'm kind of leaving with that question in your mind. Again, leaving people with the question in the hook of what hero has fallen? Why are all these leaders gathered? How important was this hero? And just all these different things. And again, it's that whenever I say it's the summertime, it's what's been happening the past couple months since the last book ended. It's all these questions that I'm leaving readers with, that I'm trying to leave them with so that they get more and more pulled into the story. Now I'm going to read from A Father's Love, which I put on my Facebook page. I'm going to have to reshare it because it's been some time, so I like to share all my short stories on my Facebook page, which if you want to check those out, I will share the link in my description below to my Facebook page where you can read all that stuff. But the first couple lines are, none of you will touch a single hair on my son's head. If you want him, you'll have to go through me. Right off the bat, it's, what's going on? I don't even mention who's saying it. So right off the bat, you kind of almost want to read the next sentence of who's saying this and what's all happening. So right there, it's more questions are coming up in your mind. That's what's so important about hooks. But that is such a key thing. You want to leave questions in people's minds, and that's what I'm doing without even doing question marks of what is happening, who are these characters, I want to know more. And that's where you start pulling people in. That is what is so important about a hook. And then The Saint of Sin City. And I created this short story a long while ago. I'm probably going to, well, I'll re-upload it again on my Facebook page. I'm probably going to do some revising on it because it's a direct origin for one of the characters, one of the parents in the Darkest Light universe. But The Saint of Sin City. I hate criminals. The thought of those that think they're above the law leaves a sour, bitter taste in my mouth. Now those two sentences, pretty vague in a way. So again, it's leaving a question of, why do you hate them? What's going on? Who are you? It's again, I'm not talking about who's saying the word, so you're kind of in your mind of who's saying this, what's happening. And me just saying alone, the title, you're kind of wondering who, but if you actually read the first book, you know who the saint is. But it's still your mind wondering of, who is this? What's going on? Why do you have this hatred towards them? And now I'm going to read something from the Tales of a Crusade book that I'm still working on. Peace. Peace has never been one of my virtues, but war has, and I'm good at it. William thinks to himself as he stared at the sand, blood pooling around him, creating rubies of the tiny diamonds. Right there, and how I have it, because I have it indented, so I've made it very clear that this is a thought that this character William is having. And right off the bat, it's war, and so then me talking about blood being around him, is it his blood? Is it someone else's blood? Why is there sand everywhere? It's all these different questions that start going in your mind that start making you go, I want to read it, and that's what is so important. To read a whole bunch of other people's books to give you ideas of what a good hook sounds like for those first couple sentences. But I'm reading mine because self-advertising! And then I'm going to finally read from the Of Gods and Monsters book, a new series I started not too long ago that it's nothing like my Darkest Light series. Nothing. Turning the corner sharply into the dark alleyway hidden from the descending sun, the pale figure spins around, staring at the dead end with defeat. He'd made a wrong turn. Who is this character? Again, it's the question of, who is this? What is he running from? Why is he running? It's all these different things. This is what hooks are. They are very important. They pull you in. They pull in people. They just make you go, what is it? That is what I always go for. I always go for questions. You can always go for something else. But in my opinion, questions are the greatest way to start a book because it leaves people wanting more. It leaves in their mind, I want these things answered. That is all I had for today on a hook. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like. Comment down below what you thought, and if you have any tips on how to write a good hook. And above all else, share with people that you know that are writing. This is a very top thing, because if you know people that are writers, that are into writing, or even in college on how to write a good hook, put it up there, share it with some people. And last but not least, subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit that bell notification, and when you subscribe, you become part of the young nation. As well, don't forget to check out all the links in my description below for my Amazon author page, the City Kidz website, and that's the charity I'm donating a lot of my royalties to. 50% of the royalties I get from purchases of my book. As well as all my social media pages. My Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. And you can go and check me out on all those things. But thank you all so much for watching. Have an awesome day. And have an awesome week. Bye!